Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video session on daily news and editorial analysis dated 29th of September. So this is a session where I'll be discussing important news and editorial for the day that is relevant for the civil services examination. Those of you who are new to our channel, in this session we'll be looking into the important news and editorial that is relevant for the civil services examination. And if you're preparing for any other competitive examination also, this session is going to be fruitful. So before I start the discussion, just to give you the part of highlights that what I'll be discussing with you for today. For today, the first important news is about the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance. We'll see the detail how this alliance is making a sense. Now, other than this, we have a news that talks about the Nipah virus outbreak and how the monoclonal antibodies are actually working. We'll see the details to this as well. Apart from this, we'll see the Ministry of Road and Transport is coming up with the utilization of the civic waste in the road building. This is something very important. You can even utilize this in the case study paper. The other important news talks about Manrega social audit, which has been paralyzed in many states. It has been stagnant and the state government is not willing to move forward with the social audit. And we'll conclude this session with the editorial that talks about India's kidney transplant deficit and what are the ways that we can come forward with, the loophole, the challenges, and how India can achieve this target. So this is all for today's discussion. So without any further ado, let's get started with the discussion part. So the first is the Five Eye Alliance. This is again something very important in the recent context. जहाँ पे अगर बात करें इंडिया और कनाडा की जो recent stand off हुई है, उस context में खास करके जब बातें highlight हुई थी with regards to the separatist leader and the killing of the Canada's in the death that was reported. So in that, the significance of Five Eye Alliance has become very significant. Now, how this will be important? If you see in prelims examination, there can be a direct question which can be asked, right? And in mains, you can use this as a fodder point. Those of you who are having PSIR as an optional, उन बच्चों के लिए भी काफी ज़्यादा relevant. So let's understand the detail. What is the picture coming out from the Five Eye Alliance? So before we start, just to give you the background, what exactly is the Five Eye Intelligence Alliance? So it's a multilateral agencies which share the network between five countries. कौन से countries है? The first we have Australia, then we have Canada. Now this is the reason we are discussing this news because Canada is a part of an intelligence grouping that is called Five Eye Intelligence Grouping. Then we have New Zealand, right? So New Zealand is the other country. Then United Kingdom and definitely United States of America. So these are the five countries that is working as a multi-intelligence sharing network. Now this surveillance network is based on the track and signal intelligence, which is also known as SIGINT, SIGINIT, right? And the intelligence document that is there, this is only shared among the member group. It is pretty evident कि जो भी members होंगे सिर्फ उनके साथ ही चीजों को share की जाएगी and no other countries will be share the details in terms of intelligence. So this is how the group is working, a close packed group only working between the five member countries, right? Names काफी important है, आपको member countries के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. And this alliance has been origin, they track back to Second World War. अगर Second World War की बात करें, I'll tell you the details how it has actually come up with it. और क्या क्या इसके functioning है, we'll see the detail also. But इसकी inceptions की अगर बात करें, we can go back to the Second World War. Now see the details. How this has actually come up and what was the timeline that this has followed. So in 1946, US and UK have agreed for an unrestricted exchange of intelligence communications among the foreign nations. And this has resulted in the formation of this group. This is in 1946. So United States and UK government has come up. So US की अगर बात करें, they have National Security Agency and for UK, they have the Government on Communications Headquarters. Now, after that, what has happened in 1948, like Cold War, they followed Australia and New Zealand to join the group in 1956. So this was followed by, Canada, which has a communication for security establishment. Then we have Australia, that is the Australia Signals Directorate, जिसे ASD भी कहते हैं. And last, that is New Zealand Government Communications and Security Bureau. So these five groups are working in coordinations and they're having their security agency exchanging their vital informations among the member countries. Now focus area की बात करें, क्या क्या इसकी focus area है? So 5 focus areas there. First is the ocean and maritime surveillance. This is again something important. अगर इंडिया के context में बात करें, we have been talking about the part of maritime surveillance and this is specifically regard to Indo-Pacific. इंडिया ने हमेशा Indo-Pacific पे जोर दी है, बट इस ग्रुपिंग की भी maritime और ocean surveillance पे काफ़ी ज़्यादा जोर. Now, scientific and defense intelligence analysis is another core area that is there. Medical intelligence is the other area. If you're writing in mains, make sure आप ये सारे points note करेंगे. Those of you who are having PSIR as an optional, उनके लिए ये चीजें ज़्यादा relevant. Now, geospatial intelligence is another important area of the member countries among the focus area. Then we have counter-intelligence and the counter-terrorism. Counter-terrorism has always been on the forefront when it comes to the member countries for any multilateral forum. अगर किसी की भी बात करें, if you see AUKUS, right? अगर AUKUS की बात करें, even for Quad. So these part of the counter-terrorism has always been in the forefront. Now, counter sharing is an intelligence product that is a secret collective knowledge or the database which is known as Stone Ghost. So if this term also appear in examination and if UPSC asks Stone Ghost was recently seen in news or is a type of secret collective database is related to which among the following. So you can easily mark the correct options. Now moving ahead with the other news, that is Nipah virus outbreak and monoclonal antibodies. So what has happened that the cases of Nipah has recently been reported, right? Nipah की अगर cases की बात करें, Nipah की cases report की गई थी केरला में और 4 cases confirm थी जहाँ पे 2 death report की गई थी. इस चीज़ को ध्यान में रखते हुए Indian government has actually sought the assistance from Australia, right? So उसी context में आपको ये समझने की ज़रूरत है कि what is the monoclonal antibodies. Now, I'll give you the brief about the monoclonal. Before that, we need to understand how the assistance from Australia is working. So, according to ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research, they have actually sought 20 doses of monoclonal antibodies from Australian University. Queensland universities है जहाँ से नीपा वायरस के इन्फेक्शंस को लेकर के मोनोक्लोनल एंटीबॉडीज मांगी गई है. I'll be addressing monoclonal antibodies in short, right? So this will be calling it MCA. Currently, antibodies doses are available for 10% only. अगर इंडिया में बात करें, as of now, 10% can only have this the part of the treatment. At present, the therapies procured from Australia since 2018. This is not for the first time that we are procuring. 2018 में भी procurement हुई थी. नीपा की जब first outbreak देखी गई थी केरला में, then we have found and we have seek assistance from Australia. Now, what is monoclonal antibodies? This is something relevant for prelims examination specifically. और अगर बात करें जनरल साइंस के क्वेश्चंस की, जनरल साइंस के क्वेश्चंस में अक्सर इस तरह के सवाल पूछे जाते हैं. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज मोनोक्लोनल एंटीबॉडीज, राइट? सो क्या होती है ये? एक्चुअली लैबोरेटरी मेड प्रोटीन होती है that mimics with the behavior of the antibodies produced by the immune system to protect the disease against any foreign substances. I'll show you an image that will make things more clear. Just allow me to come through the content part. Now, these antibodies are designed for a specific protein. एक specific protein के लिए डिजाइन की जाती है ताकि वहां पे जाके वो बाइंड करे और जो भी कैंसरस सेल है उसको इम्पैक्ट करे. Now, this can be used with the various purposes, including the disease like cancer, autoimmune disorder, infections, and even the part of COVID-19. COVID-19 के टाइम में भी इसकी काफ़ी ज़्यादा efficiency देखी गई थी. And looking at the functioning of monoclonal antibodies, what are the things that actually work and why it is considered to be the most effective way of treating the viral infection? See what actually happened. The monoclonal antibodies have a specific engineered and generated targeted disease. So they specifically target the part which is actually has to be treated, and this means to attach themselves with the disease causing antigen. I'll show you an image that will make things more clear to you. So we'll see the functioning. There are 3 specific things which is actually working. You can count it as a 4. So first is that target specific protein जो कि monoclonal antibodies को bind करती है with the specific protein से. So suppose it's a specific cell, the protein gets binded. Then we have neutralizing pathogen. These neutralizes virus with the harmful substances. Then we have stimulus immune response that can trigger the immune system and attack the target cell. And last but not least is the treat disease used in cancer, autoimmune disease, and infections like COVID-19. तो ये कुछ ऐसे diseases हैं जिनमें इसकी utilizations हैं. Now, how does the diagrammatic things work? You can see here, these are the monoclonal antibodies. ये monoclonal antibodies हैं. This is an example for coronavirus. This is a spike protein which is there. Now, what happened when it reach out to the body and when it reach out to the things in the affected area, it actually bind. इस तरह से binding होती है और binding होने के बाद ये neutralize करती है, right? And this further leads कि जिस तरह से infection rate जो बढ़ रही है, that suddenly gets stops, right? So this is how the effectiveness of the monoclonal antibodies is actually working, and India is looking forward with Australia's assistance, specifically when it comes to Nipah virus cases. Now, एक और चीज आपके लिए जानना जरूरी है, that is the part of the infection that is M102.4. Lancet के जर्नल में इसे रिपोर्ट की गई थी, and it was found that this is something which is fully potent, right? Fully potent for human monoclonal antibodies and neutralizes Hendra and Nipah virus. Hendra की अगर बात करें, this has been reported in United States, और Nipah इंडिया में ऑलरेडी केरला में रिपोर्ट की गई. दोनों की बहुत हद तक बात करें अगर सिमिलैरिटी की, इन्फेक्शन स्टेट की, लिथैलिटी की ऑलमोस्ट कॉमन है, तो सिनोनिमसली इनको यूज किया जाता है. एंड द थिंग्स, आई मीन द पार्ट ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट इज इफेक्टिव फॉर. The antibodies can be cleared on the phase of clinical trial, indicating the part of small group, और ये determine करती हैं with the doses and the side effects. तो जिस तरह से infection rate होगी, I mean the infection rate actually find out the point कि क्या doses होनी चाहिए, right? So doses is accordingly made up. Now the other news, that is center craft municipality waste road policy, something again very important, where from the waste the government is looking forward to make the roads, not exactly the highway, but they will be making the roads, specifically the state's road and other roads. So Union Minister for Road and Transport has actually come up with the policy where the municipal waste will be utilized for the road construction within the city. Something very innovative that you can even utilize in the general studies paper 4. Case studies में भी जो good practices हैं, when you are writing the good practices, you can specifically highlight it. So promoting green technology, ये कोशिश है मिनिस्ट्री की. मिनिस्ट्री ने एम किया है to address the waste management while promoting the sustainable infrastructure development. We call it SID. The government is considering the incentive for the part of manufacturing and to discourage the use of fossil fuel. Why to discourage the use of fossil fuel? Because India has NDC commitment, जो बात करें intended national determined contribution की, this is a part of Paris climate change. उसके साथ साथ इंडिया ने अपनी नेट जीरो इमिशंस के टारगेट भी सेट की है. दिस इज फॉर 2070. वी हैव पंचामृत इनिशिएटिव, राइट? पंचामृत इनिशिएटिव के थ्रू भी 2030 तक बहुत सारी टारगेट को अचीव करने की बातें कही गई है. सो दीज आर द टारगेट दैट इंडिया हैज एक्चुअली कम अप. और ग्लोबल एफर्ट्स को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमें ज़रूरी है कि जो कार्बन इमिशंस है और जो खास करके क्लाइमेट चेंज को कॉम्बैट करने की बात है, वी नीड टू प्रोएक्टिवली कम अप विद दिस, राइट? Now, something other that is important for you to be noted is about the green technology. अगर green technology की बात करें या green ecosystem की बात करें, सबसे पहले ज़रूरी है कि green software technology को भी लाया जाए. After that, we will have a green infrastructure. This will be the complete amalgamations of using the green technology. Then we should have a green mindset. And other than this, we need a green governance. This is very important for your means. अगर आप means में इस तरह के diagram बना करके लिखें तो definitely you will get an added advantage. And apart from promoting the green technology, electric highway is something that Ministry of Road and Transport has actually come up. So this is a concept that has been developed in India, specifically in Delhi and Jaipur highway. This is a highway. This is NH8, something very important connectivity between Delhi and Jaipur is there. तो इस रास्ते में इलेक्ट्रिक हाईवे की बात की है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड एंड ट्रांसपोर्ट ने. सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस इज बिटवीन दिल्ली एंड जयपुर, राइट? And other important part, that is electric highway will involve the installations of power cable. You can see this is a which is already functional in the country like Sweden and Norway. वहाँ पे already cable के through जो buses हैं उनकी basically they actually function in this way, right? So installation of power cable is there which help them for the transportation. The project signify a shift towards the eco-friendly transportation. So if we are moving forward with eco-friendly transportation, incorporating such technology, such latest technology would be required in India as well. Now, moving ahead with the other news, that is Manrega's social audit that has been stalled in several states because of the paucity of the fund and even not releasing that in the time. So, Manrega, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Act, this faces persistent criticism from the part of corruption that has been reported in the social audit. We'll see the details, what is the problem. नाउ अगर बेसिक बात करें इफेक्टिवनेस की, जो सबसे बड़ी सवाल है वो इफेक्टिवनेस को लेकर के है. जिस तरह से मनरेगा की जो लेटेस्ट स्टैटिक्स रिलीज की गई है बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट, दिस इज बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट, दे हैव सेट जो टोटल परसेंटेज जो कंसर्न रेस की गई थी, खास करके अगर बात करें लैक्स की और शॉर्टफॉल की अगर जो की गई है, सो इस शॉर्टफॉल में सिर्फ 14% अमाउंट जो है वो रिकवर हुए हैं ऑडिट में. Now, what was the actual amount that was highlighted? This was 27.5 crore rupees, और जो अमाउंट रिकवर हुई है वो 1.31 करोड़ रुपीज हुई है. दिस इज 13.8 crore rupees that has been there, right? Despite the persistent social audit that is there, malpractices still is evident, और इसके effectiveness पे काफी सवाल उठाए गए, because if you see the social audit which is taking place, the part of the mismatch which is there raise the concern about the corruption and malpractices, right? States की अगर बात करें, Karnataka and Bihar has received the fund, not received the fund for the years, hindering their ability to conduct the audit. So those states, that is the Karnataka and Bihar, has specifically and categorically highlighted their concern with regards to the shortfall in the funding. Now, funding starved unit, there's certain sections in the provision of the Manrega Act. उसमें एक important section है, that is section 17, which call for the governing the scheme, and ग्राम सभा को ये power दी गई है जहाँ पे ये they can monitor the execution of the work. So which is the functional, the power की अगर बात करें, so the correct answer is ग्राम सभा. अगर आपसे prelims में पूछा जाए तो आप बता सकते हैं कि this is ग्राम सभा which has the power. Now each state has a social audit. अगर ऐसे की बात करें, for social audit each state has a unit. हर स्टेट के पास एक इंडिपेंडेंट यूनिट है और उनके साथ साथ इम्प्लीमेंटिंग अथॉरिटी है विच टेक केयर फॉर द पार्ट. सो दिस इज हाउ द ओवरलुक टेक प्लेस. एंड टू टेक द सिचुएशंस, द सेमिनार इज आल्सो देयर बिटवीन द स्टेट्स, मनरेगा कमिश्नर्स, सिविक सोसाइटी एंड स्टेक होल्डर्स. सो दीज आर द इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स. ये कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स होंगे जिनके साथ मीटिंग की जाती है, एंड द एक्चुअल प्रोग्रेस इज बीइंग इवैल्यूएटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट एंड. Now, moving ahead with the editorial for the day, that is the reform that is required for the Indian kidney transplant deficit. India is a country जहाँ पे अभी भी अगर kidney transplant की अगर बात करें, we are still lacking on the part of the actual requirement. We'll see the details. So what I'll be discussing under this editorial, first is about the chronic disease that is there. This is CKD भी कहते हैं. This is properly known as CKD. Then we'll see way to obtain, how the kidney is obtained, what are the procedures that is there, need for reform, and the conclusion part. Now, India में specifically अगर बात करें kidney transplant की, when we are talking about kidney transplant, तो kidney transplant में जो सबसे important चीज़ें हैं जो highlight की गई है, that is the shortfall. Shortfall काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. Why it is high? Because according to the part, only 3.4% of the people are actually getting. यहाँ पे 2 लाख पेशेंट्स हैं, बट सिर्फ कुछ ही लोगों को किडनी की ट्रांसप्लांट पॉसिबल हो पा रही है. अकॉर्डिंग टू द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ, द एनुअल रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द किडनी इज 2 to 3 लाख, और कितनी हमारे पास अवेलेबिलिटी हो पाती है, merely 6,000. So the requirement is 2 to 3 lakh, and the actual availability is only 6,000, or you can say 6K. So this is a shortfall that we are having. 5 lakh India are believed to have the part of the treatment with dialysis. So what is the problem that is also coming? तो आपको यहाँ पे out of pocket expenses, जिसे OPV कहते हैं, उसे भी समझने की जरूरत है, because ultimately these disease cause a lot of burden to a middle class family as well. Now, chronic disease जो है, chronic kidney disease, what it is, by simple definition I'll tell you this. High prevalence होती है kidney में, and there are certain things that actually function. Stages of kidney है, first is stage 1, जहाँ पे kidney actually normal function करती है. उसके बाद the things get deteriorated, then we have stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 and stage 5. So this is how the things actually function. और high prevalence chronic disease की अगर बात करें, kidney disease की, this is due to diabetics. This is a one major factor. The second major factor is malnutrition. थर्ड इज overcrowding एंड फोर्थ इज पुअर सैनिटेशन. और इसमें जो टोटल पॉपुलेशन अभी तक affected है इंडिया में, दैट इज 17% ड्यू टू दिस रीजन. So this can again be an important point. And the chronic kidney disease is leads to end renal disease also, जिसके वजह से किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट की जरूरत पड़ती है, offering the better way for life, convenience, life expectancy and cost effectiveness. Now, ways to obtain the kidney, there are certain procedures and these are the legal procedure that is there. अगर कुछ customs की बात करें, there has been there in terms of kidney transplant. तो कुछ several of, I mean, there are two major part. First is kidneys being obtained from the deceased person. अगर उसने consent दी हुई है तो ले सकते हैं. This is the one way. And the second way is to receive from the friend to donate. So this is a two way where the kidney is being there. और भी बहुत सारे ऐसे लीगल प्रोसीजर्स है, देयर मेडिकल एग्रीमेंट दैट फॉलोज, बट दैट हैज टू बी डन विद द कंसेंट ऑफ बोथ ऑफ द पार्टीज. नाउ नीड फॉर अर्जेंट रिफॉर्म, किस तरह के रिफॉर्म की जरूरत है? देयर आर टू इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म्स दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. फर्स्ट इज किडनी स्वैप, राइट? फर्स्ट इज द किडनी स्वैप and the other is kidney chain, right? So this is related to kidney. These are the two important component. So यहाँ पे अगर बात करें regulations की, the kidney exchange need to have, I mean exchange में और swaps में दोनों की काम करने की जरूरत है. Now how do we define? First when we go by swap में होती क्या है कि अगर दो पेयर किडनी है तो किसी भी एक डोनर के साथ आप उसे एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं, राइट? So the exchange take place in the swap. And when it comes to the chain, what happened that if donor is not able to donate, now the things go कि यहाँ पे आप you can have a matching donor और recipient के साथ incompatible part को भी actually share किया जाता है so that a chain can be formed, right? So this is pretty different from the blood bank that actually function. यहाँ पे दो तरह की चीजें काम करती हैं, एक तो kidney swap और एक kidney chain. So chain goes with a sequence of transplant when non-matching also give their part of kidney. Now, to conclude the things, kidney exchange की अगर बात करें, this actually was there in India since 1994, right? ये सारी चीज़ें ट्रांसप्लांट एक्ट आई, उसके बाद रिफॉर्म लाया गवर्नमेंट ने 2003 में, जहाँ पे एलिजिबल क्राइटेरिया बनाई गई फॉर द किडनी शॉर्टेज परसिस्टेंस एंड सफिशिएंट प्रेसिडेंट्स हैज आल्सो बीन सेट ग्लोबली. दिस इज नॉट ओनली फॉर इंडिया, बट ग्लोबल लेवल पे भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा रूल्स और रेगुलेशंस हैं किडनी के ट्रांसप्लांट के लिए. The US especially has made progress in transplanting thousands of the swaps and chains. And India must adopt the successful regulation. जो भी good practices हैं, जितने भी good practices हैं across the globe, so we can actually come up with the good practices और हमें significantly अपने citizen के लिए ये changes लाने की ज़रूरत है so that it can actually help them. So this is how you can write that the good practices, the part of the state of art technology and even the laws that is actually helping the citizen, उस तरह पे हमें काम करने की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. Now, moving ahead with the answers discussion, कल के जो सवाल थे उसके correct options और discussion. For first, the correct option is B. सवाल था with regards to the Gulf of Thailand. आपके जो correct options हैं statement 1 में, it's shallow inlet with the South China Sea and Pacific Ocean. और ये second, third B options correct हैं. You have to check. The second option is actually incorrect. So you check out which among the following you have marked. Participate करें और जो correct answer है वो comment section में हमें ज़रूर बताएं. Second question is about the part of Ministry of Agriculture. मैंने आपसे पूछा था PM किसान के बारे में. So this is the first AI chatbot that has been connected, and the inclusion of the AI chatbot make grievances more reach out to the people और बहुत ज़्यादा friendly और accessible बनाई गई उसे. So the correct answer for this is answer C. Now daily MCQs question for today. The first question is about the South China Sea. आपको बताना है कौन कौन से options इसमें correct हैं. It is eastern side of ocean. It is linked to the East China Sea of Taiwan state. It shared the border with Philippines and Vietnam. So check out for the correct option. This is the first question. The second question is about the statement that you have to consider about the United Nations capacity building initiatives. It aims to strengthen the capabilities of countries in global south, and it put the development goals during India G20 persistent into effect. So do check out for the correct option. कौन से options correct हैं आप उसे comment करके ज़रूर बताएं. So do participate. Write your answer in the comment section down below. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, queries about test series, admission and programs, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for continued watching.